I don't think so.
All these guys, did they? Oh, hold on. Who's this? Who's this?
I wanted to feel like a diva and feel what it
fuck
feels
you.
like to.
All these guys, did they? That's what it feels like. Where's Todd?
It does feel good. It's a lot of power.
You come in, and you can just dictate conversation. That's what I like about it. You have your own entrance.
So are we streaming or what's going on right now?
I'm waiting for Todd to call in. He says he's coming.
This motherfucker's getting pizza, huh?
Marco, what's up with your boy?
Yeah, Marco. This is the smart group that's on right now. We're not the ones
that do the
tech.
We're the talent. Yeah. We're not the tech.
100% talent. Where's the? We gotta get our drops all lined up. Marco has some silly drops over here. Don't tell him I said that. Like, I gotta go searching for the NWO one. That one needs to be all the way up top.
Yeah. I thought Marco said he was gonna set it up to where he's streaming it.
Yeah, well, he lied.
God.
Breaking news is there. Oh, there it is. Fucking
Captain Negative.
That's right. I can't wait to go off on these people that all of a sudden want Shaquem Griffin.
You know, everybody falls in love with these guys at the combine. It's like I hate the combine.
No, I think it's a fantastic story and all that, but we don't need to have 11 defensive players on the field and there's only 22 hands.
I will say, I was like, I don't think that the Giants should take him, but I was enthralled watching his bench press. It's amazing.
Oh no! As far as the story, it's great. Honestly, he's a freak. He's a freak athlete. But you know, I watched them doing. They had to do almost like the old school basketball drills, like go left, go right, then come back to get an interception. Saw him do the drill. It hit him right in his the nub, and and he dropped it. And I was like, that's the problem right there. I was like, he's fast as crap, but he's gonna miss a tackle or two because he's only got one hand.
Wait, so he doesn't?
No, I didn't know we were streaming tonight.
God damn it! God damn it, Todd.
Told me. I'm looking here at the Facebook chat. I don't even see it.
I thought Marco said something.
No, he didn't say anything to me at all.
Listen, we're just talent. We just show up when we're supposed to.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm here now.
All right. So you were streaming?
What this shows that you guys talk out of the Facebook group chat and y'all leave me out of it, which upsets me. I might not even stream it all tonight. I don't even know if I can now.
Listen, first of all, that chat without you in it has been there a long time.
That's good.
You realize we did have a show before you were on, right?
Yeah, I know.
And we made it all the way to your heart, to where you wanted to be a part of it.
I mean, Todd should.
So you got balls complaining
in our podcast network.
Yeah, your dream came true, Todd. Don't throw your dream back at us.
Shut up. Well, Marco's going to need to send me a new picture because this one's dated for March 1st.
Blame it on Marco. See, that's internship stuff.
Shut the hell up.
Marco said to give him 5 minutes.
I don't hear you screaming at Marco. I know he's screaming at Marco for not being here in a millisecond.
He runs the he runs the show. We can't nothing.
Marco, fucking millennials.
You're screaming at me, and I'm sitting here fucking in the middle of a game trying to clutch out this game.
I'm gonna give you a little rule of thumb in life. You yell at the intern. You don't yell at the boss.
Did you guys see that 40 by that linebacker with no hand? That was insane.
We were just he's a great athlete. I mean, his brothers,
hell yeah,
his twin brothers, already in the league.
I'll tell you what though, like it kind of sucks because he's an athletic freak, but at the same time it's like you don't know if he's drafted because he's got one hand. Like, what's he gonna do? You know, is he gonna be like a long snapper? I mean,
no,
still,
supposedly he's. Well, I saw people pumping him up on Twitter saying he's a first-round pick. I go, there's no way in hell anybody's taking him in the first round.
He's got one hand, dude. He's not a first-round pick. He's like a third-round pick at best.
No, honestly, I bet you he gets taken in the late second. I'm calling it right now.
Honestly, though, I think if anybody takes him, it's because of the hype. Like, if they take him early is what I'm saying. Like, because of his story and because of his hand, people are thinking he's better than he is right now.
Well, honestly, if it wasn't for his hand, he'd be a first-round pick.
Oh, absolutely.
If he had both hands, he would be a first-round pick because he's a linebacker that ran a 4.38.
Guys,
I know.
I'm gonna blow your world apart. Okay, and this is coming from an individual that uses a wheelchair because he has his own set of mobility issues. There are certain things in life that you need certain body parts for.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great story, and he should get a chance to play in the league. But any team in the league that spends greater than a third-round pick on him should have their head examined because you need two hands to be a linebacker. Just like I need to be able to use my legs to rollerblade. I'm not gonna enter a rollerblade race tomorrow because my legs don't function that way. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean,
linebackers need their You know,
he did.
If that's the truth, then why would he lie about that? But if he's getting,
we're gonna have to redo the intro. I just realized I went on the website and I clicked on an older audio, and that's what I was playing through the speaker.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
The on-air option didn't show up, so. I mean, they're hearing the live one now. People in the YouTube chat's like, wait, that's old audio. You guys are talking about Shaquem Griffin and what round we'll go, and what round he'll go. I was on the Bleacher website, but on the Blog Talk Radio, but I clicked on the wrong audio.
This is why our interns.
Dude, it didn't show. I clicked on the Bleacher podcast, and it just played some old audio. I'm sorry.
I'll say this: you're lucky Jimmy isn't here.
Oh my god!
So
I'm so happy he's not here right now.
For the past 9 minutes.
It's up now. They're hearing us now.
Oh, guess who's on the line?
Oh my god! Don't answer it.
Caller, are you there?
Oh my God.
Absolute amateurs.
Oh my God.
I can get my 14-year-old daughter to do it, Todd.
Oh yeah. Well, then why don't you do it then? All right.
Because I'm 40. I drive a Dodge Stratus. I'm a man.
I'm a
I don't know about
man.
your little streaming.
My first mistake. All right.
Little streamers that you'll have a little streaming.
Oh man. We're hearing this now.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Exactly. I don't do streaming.
Great audio.
Oh man, I was playing old audio. That's crazy.
So the first 9 minutes of that groundbreaking information just went out the window, Todd? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, a little bit.
So back to Shaquem Griffin.
Recap. Make a recap.
Well, I didn't hear what you guys were talking about, so it will be new news to me. I'm at the beginning of the show. I had a premonition that something was going to go wrong.
Well,
My negative nature.
First of all, I think this stands for repeating. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to Dave Gettleman. There are some things that are bigger than football, and this is one of them. We hope that his treatment goes well and that he's able to lead the franchise well into the future and reap the benefits of the Saquon Barkley pick.
I'll echo some of those sentiments, but I'd hate to say that I hate to be a dick. I hate to be the one to bring some negative realism to the show, but
here it comes. Ready?
Yes, we do offer. No, hold on, wait, because don't get me wrong. Don't you hear a diagnosis like that, and listen, my uncle, I've lost an uncle from cancer. The odds are, everyone has lost someone who knows someone who's been affected by cancer in some way, shape, or form. So that being a separate issue. Of course, your heart goes out to him. Doesn't matter if it was the general manager of the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys. Some things are bigger than football. And when it comes to life, someone's diagnosed with something like that, your heart goes out to them. You wish them the best, and you want things to happen that in a positive way, right? However, and I know, with cancer, sometimes you can't tell people different ages and stuff like that, but that's a risk you take when you hire a general manager of a certain age group.
Oh.
I'm fine because honestly, I think they're setting it up for Kevin Abrams to take over as soon as Gettleman's gone anyway.
Well, I mean, I'm not putting the guy, God forbid. But I mean,
as far as
I know. I'm just playing. I was playing devil's advocate just to lighten the mood because it seems like you guys can't take a little bit of realism. But I mean, it's the truth. I mean, it's just like it's the truth, right? So in 2020, right, when the election comes along, right, people are going to say Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders, and I heard someone the other day say, Bernie, listen, I think it was Bill Maher told Bernie Sanders, listen, if you're going to run, don't let them worry about your age. But as a voter, you look at someone's age, you have to, right? So as the owner of a team, now no one could have seen this coming, but maybe we should change the subject.
Oh my God.
This is no one's fault. This is no one's fault. It's nothing like that. But, I mean, it's something to think about.
It is not something to think about.
It is a little bit. How old is the man?
He's like 60, isn't he? 60. Let me see.
67.
He's late 60s, isn't he?
Yeah, I'll see 67 off the top of my head.
60. I thought he was 67.
He's 67.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody in there said 57.
No, he's not 57.
No,
God bless. Now, someone look. How old is Bernie Sanders?
I don't know.
Bernie Sanders.
Serious question. Like I don't know. Like because if you're going to look into if you're going to look into giving Bernie 4 years,
Bernie Sanders is 76 years old.
Is he that old?
That's
yeah, he's 76.
Wow.
Why does he look like he's 80?
Wow.
Like
so he's going to be 70. He'd be 78. You got to take that into consideration, don't you think?
He looks like he's 85.
Wrong.
Well, how old is the current president that I refuse to call by his actual name?
President Trump is 71 years old.
71, right?
Justin, you may remember this, right? Or some of the older guys may remember the Cannonball Run movies.
Yes.
You don't? Right. So remember Cannonball Run 2? Remember the character that was like the head of the mafia? His name was Don, but they called him like the pun on it was Don because it's like Don Corleone. It was Don. Remember that guy? The retard president, the retard head of the mafia. I give you your president, Don.
Oh my God.
Well, listen. This is not the forum to discuss the specifics of the debate about the flag, because
no, but we could do about the kneeling though.
What I can say is this: this situation with the kneeling and the flag and the whole bit.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Can we not get into it?
First of all,
somebody's going to have a different opinion than Captain Negative, and then he's going to blast the fuck out of all of our ears.
No, I'm not. I don't. This is not a subject.
First of all, he always has a different opinion.
Stop it. No, the odds are is I'm probably going to agree with you. But go ahead.
I think four people are going to agree and one is going to disagree.
That's for sure.
Let's see. We're grown men.
Excellent math there.
Some of us.
Excellent math. The chat wants us to talk about Davis Webb and Carl Lewis. That's for sure.
Oh my! Let's go to the cherry picking topics. Come on, let's get a little rough around the edges.
What I'll say about the flag.
I mean, the Eagles just got turned down. I mean, this is in our division. This is a football topic. People are talking about it everywhere.
Absolutely, it is.
People are talking about it everywhere because they want to bring politics and everything.
It makes me sick to my stomach because it's media that keeps repeating that the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. I had just forgotten about that, like last Tuesday, and now we're back.
That's the part you hate the most.
Yeah, that's the part
I hate
the most.
And I'll also say this: sit, stand, be in the locker room, be on the field, whatever. I sit every time there's a national anthem because I can't stand.
Because well, that's a horse for a different color. Right?
But that I would probably sit or kneel anyway. But that's my choice to do so.
Let me say this, right? So, like I stand. Tonight I was at my daughter's graduation. I stood, okay? But it's America. Mm-hmm. And if someone wants to, if they're going to peacefully, I mean, the country was built on protest, right? So, I mean, if people think that there's people think there's a topic that's important to us, and if you really want to talk about the topic, I mean, it's an important topic. It's something that's out there, and there needs to be a conversation or some dialogue around it, 100%. And I stand for the flag, but I totally support the player's right to kneel, and I think that it's a complete joke, right? I just think it's a complete joke that this thing is being politicized. I think that the whole thing stems back to the NFL telling Trump that he couldn't own an NFL team, and he has a hard on for the league.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. And I think the league told him no because they knew he was a douchebag, and pretty much from there on out, he's had a hard on for the NFL to get back at them. And no, that's the truth. I think it was 82. Didn't he try to buy the team?
I think he's just very passionate about the kneeling. I don't think it has anything to do with him getting rejected from the NFL. I don't.
Oh, I think you're wrong. I think you don't know the man.
First of all, absolutely has.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not telling you you're wrong, right? But I'm not going to say you're right, okay? Because what I'm saying is, let's not make a connection that you can't prove. I
could prove it.
Assuming connection.
I could prove it.
Connection never ends. Okay.
I could prove it. Go Google Trump in the NFL. There's a long history there, youngin. Remember, I'm older than you.
Understand that. Don't call me youngin.
It's the truth. And if you're going to talk like that, you're going to be called youngin because you don't know the history behind it. Trump has hated the NFL for years. So it's not something that's made up or an assumption.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, and Trump
and he's 67.
Trump got mad when he tried to buy the Buffalo Bills, and they didn't allow him to buy the Buffalo Bills.
And they didn't allow him to do it.
He tried to buy the Buffalo Bills twice. He even tried to move them up close to Toronto.
Toronto. That's why Buffalo Bills people hate him.
And if you know one thing about Donald Trump, if you go back and you look at his legacy, he's a petty bitch. So, with that being said, of course he's going to hold something against him. I know I have people in New York that I know who have construction companies who have been shysted by the man. So there's a legitimate reason why the NFL would not allow him to buy a team. And it is just like the man to hold that vendetta up until this is not about the flag. Before 2009, the players were in the locker room for the national anthem. They had to be paid by the country, by the military, had to pay the NFL
to go
put
back
the
out.
players on the field. So this is and the NFL owners who made the decision about now everybody has to stand. This is the biggest joke. If you think this is about red, white, and blue, this is about one color, green. And the NFL knows that there's certain viewers. There's certain viewers that they're never going to lose. Me, you, Justin. There's certain guys that are never going to go away. All the snowflakes that left that allowed us to all get the NFL package for free. All the people that left the league, this rule will make those people come back. Go look at the real numbers of the league, right? Even with the people that stopped watching, the NFL was the most watched sport in the country, and it wasn't even close. This was a money decision, and they're using the flag. To be honest with you,
100%. This is
and what could be more American than that, Tim?
I think it's pretty obvious. I don't share my political views. I think with you guys, especially when it comes to the president. But I definitely agree with you, James. I'm saying, how can I be wrong on my own opinion? but I definitely
because it's about the president.
Said, though. But I definitely agree with what James said about the kneeling. Like I personally think it's really disrespectful. But I do believe that the players have the right to do it, and I don't believe in the NFL taking away their right to kneel. I don't believe in that. I'm pretty libertarian when it comes to that. I think that if you want to protest, you have the right to protest. Do I also have the right to think your protest is stupid? I do. But I will fight. But
do you know what the protest is about?
I do. I will personally fight.
Okay, how can you say that the protest is stupid and doesn't deserve a conversation or dialogue if you know what the protest is about?
Okay, because the protest is strictly about the fact that police officers are going out there and just murdering black men and black people for just the sake of.
I don't think it's just about. I think it's just about police doing the wrong things, not just a specific color. Although it does tend to lean to the black people.
Here's the thing about it, okay. Yes, do the police sometimes have to kill people or do kill people? Yeah, of course. But if you look at every situation that they've had to do that, a very minute part of it all was unjustified. The majority of those, the person was not complying with the police officers. They were doing whatever they could to just.
Have you seen the videos of the people sitting on the ground getting shot?
Okay, yes, I'm not denying that. I just said there are some bad incidents out there, but that's a very minute part of it all that the media likes to blow up and just throw in your face all the time. Why do you think people think this happens more than it does?
I think that should be put in our face, don't you think? Don't you think that's something that should be put in our face that we should know about?
I do understand. Okay, I do understand that, but it's the only thing that's being put in your face. Okay, I believe that you should either have access to.
That's not. But hold on, wait a minute. That's not true because I see plenty of stories about good officers that take care of homeless people. I saw a story the other day about an officer that saw a homeless woman and put her in a hotel and then got her a house. I see officers playing basketball with kids in the street. I see officers breakdancing at parties and stuff. So that's not true. You see these guys doing a lot of good. And you see just as many of them, unfortunately, because of social media now, doing bad. I saw a video the other day where a woman on the beach got punched in the face 7 times.
Okay, yeah, but she was also
a white woman
seriously fighting against the cops. I mean, insanely fighting against the cops. Am I saying he should have punched her in the back of the head? No, I do think that was a little much.
Well, there you go, Todd. Now, did you see the video of the guy that was resisting arrest with the 3 police officers around him that was just released yesterday, where he's leaning up against the wall. And while, yes, the gentleman is resisting arrest, was it necessary for the 3 cops to pummel him, elbow drop him, and then the 3 cops to come out of the elevator?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Okay, I'm not saying
right? I mean, so here's my thing. If the good cops stood up against the bad cops, the players can play football. It's not blown out of proportion. It's something that's been going on for years. Go look at Rodney King.
I know that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it's a new thing.
So these players that contribute a lot of time and money in their communities are trying to bring a conversation around this topic peacefully.
And not only that, but they have access to a platform that not every person has. Right.
Thank you, Justin.
I mean, we should all be so fortunate to be playing in the NFL or to be playing in the NBA or to be socially recognized to the point where we have a platform that can be noticed by the public. And so these are people that are trying to use their platform to make a difference for social change. And whether you think that it's justified or not, to take away that opportunity that they have to use that platform as they see fit, when they're not breaking any laws. The flag means a million different things to a million different people.
There you go.
I understand that. The flag historically has always meant. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. My father was in the Navy, so I'm the son of a military man, but the flag means more to me than the military. And so,
absolutely. No, absolutely.
You know,
I
understand why people might be upset about that or might not think that it's the best way to protest, but at the end of the day, you have to respect a group of people that are willing to use their platform in a peaceful protest that is not they're not the ones that are creating the shitstorm around this scenario.
No,
if the good cops stood up,
we are moving on.
Oh, I got to say this though. If the good cops stood up against the bad cops, the players can just play football. Moving on.
There we go.
All right, I know we're moving on, but let me get one point in because I keep getting talked over.
Hold on,
you got to speak up, Tim.
Let's put it this way, guys. It's the little PC universe. Everybody.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Everybody gets a little panty. Everybody gets their little panties in a bunch because somebody kneeled. Who cares? But,
exactly.
But the other thing about it is, hey, if you mess with the boss's money, guess what? You're at your job.
Exactly.
I can't protest at my job. So you know what? You can't protest at your job.
That's a silly argument. That's a silly argument. That's a silly argument. It's a silly argument.
I don't think
it is a silly argument. How many people come to watch you do your job?
You know what?
A job is a job.
How many people come? No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. These guys are looked at as role models in so many other ways. When we so now you want to pick and choose and say, oh, I want the role model to be like this. Or I want my role model to be like this. Protest this way. Talk this way.
If you have to pick a role model for your own life, you're not living life right to begin with.
So wait a minute. So hold on. Wait a minute. So in your life, there's been no one that you've looked up to in any way, shape, or form?
No.
I feel sorry for you as an individual. You need to surround yourself with better people.
I try to form my own person. I try to form my own people.
We all do. Everyone tries to form their own person, but to say that you have no role models or people that you look up to when you're growing up is completely stupid.
No,
in every way, shape, and form.
There's a difference between looking up to somebody and having a role model. Those are different things. That's a different thing. I look up to many people. I don't have any role models. I don't have a single role model. But I look up to a lot of people. You can laugh all you want.
No, I like the violin. The violin in the back made me laugh.
Yeah, the violin was perfect.
I will say that in terms
let's move on. Let's move on, man.
Yeah, let's
actually
talk about Giants crap.
My role model is Jimmy. I
Thank you.
aspire to be him.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. So let's talk about.
And that means you look up to me.
Let's talk about what everyone wants to talk about.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice, not a game. We talking about practice.
OTAs. Everyone wants to talk about the OTAs, which is just practice.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I'm excited about. And I know it is only OTAs, and I know James is going to shit all over whatever I say.
Yeah. As long as nobody gets hurt, that's it.
Yeah. I'm kneeling while I'm doing this. And Davis Webb, all I'm hearing is good things. And he's throwing the ball around. Nice. That's what I want to hear. I know it's only practice, but you know what? I wasn't hearing this last year. I just heard he was a hard worker.
Davis Webb is the GOAT.
Now, I'm just, maybe we made the right move in drafting Saquon.
You can thank me. I've been saying this for how long?
I love it. It's OTAs.
Red pill, Tim. I hope you enjoy the red pill.
Oh, God. First of all, Todd, you know what? You're the reason you know what? Saquon, I hope, blows up. I hope he absolutely blows up because obviously he's a giant. But as far as James already knows, I was on his side the whole time as far as the draft-wise. I would love to have extra picks. That would have just been me. But, hey, whatever. And I did like Nick Chubb as well. But that being said, it is what it is. Saquon is the future. So let's tear it up. And I like where this offensive line is going as far as size. And it looks like even if Jalapio goes to center, we're just putting more and more size in front. And we're like saying, screw the passing game. We're going to go off this play action. We're going to be running. And I like it. And we're not even worried about the wide receivers, it looks like right now, because I don't even think we're going to bring in another one. Because I really think we're going to go 2 wide receivers with Odell and Shepard on the outsides and just having, bring in a third wide receiver very rarely because you got Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're not really as concerned about the third wide receiver is you're going to see a lot less 3 wide receiver sets. Remember, that was all that McAdoo was in for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh yeah, I know that. Ellison was successful in Minnesota's program under Pat Shurmur before he came to the Giants. So Shurmur trusts Ellison. You're going to see Ellison and Ingram at tight end to beef up the lines even more. Both of those guys can make plays in the receiving game. And you're going to leave it to Shepard and Odell. And if Cody Latimer can come in and make a play in the red zone at 6'3" or whatever he is, the offense is going to be much more balanced, I think, under Shurmur, just from a play calling and formation perspective.
Better be able to stop somebody on defense. You're not going to be able to be balanced.
Oh, here we go. I don't think the defense is going to be that bad. I know everybody wants to put, honestly, we have a top safety.
I don't know how they're putting pressure on the quarterback. I have no clue how they're putting pressure on the quarterback. They're going to have to blitz all the time to put pressure on the quarterback. And when you blitz all the time, you better have 3 or 4 corners that can cover during the course of the season.
I don't think that's the problem. The Giants put out a photo today of the defensive back group, and I couldn't name 4 of them.
Exactly.
I was like, that's, and who the hell? Like,
but they're wearing blue jerseys, so
they were white.
They were white jerseys today. I saw those photos. and I had
can
a
you name
similar
them?
reaction. No, I had a similar reaction to Marco.
I was like, who are these people? I was like, oh, there's Landon Collins, I think. Oh, there's Eli Apple, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to be able to get to the point.
I can see Darian Thompson. I can see Collins. I can see Janoris Jenkins, and I don't know a single other face on there.
Yeah, like I said, I knew 4 people on there.
Yeah, I see Michael Thomas. I know him.
It's troubling, gentlemen. It's troubling, and
secondary.
Again, hopefully these kids pan out. Maybe there's 2 or 3 of them that end up being diamonds in the rough. But I mean, you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot during the course of a 16-game season. I mean, you better be able to stop people.
Point is, James. That's where I think you got your point. Is over the 6-game season.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking one game.
Let's say week 1. Let's hope no major injuries happen during the preseason.
You better hope no major injuries happen in certain positions. If you have a major injury at cornerback, and I love how all of a sudden the Giant fans now, it's all about, like, they're all in on Eli Apple. Like, he's good again. Like, this guy is an integral part. We could depend on him. There's nothing to worry about. He's going to be fine. Like, it's unbelievable to me after what happened last year.
As long as he's got his head straight, I never had a problem with the talent.
We have had a problem with his talent a little bit, right? I mean, he has had a couple of times. I know Giant fans have blown up a little bit about Eli Apple in the past, over the last 2 years.
Well, no, let's put it this way. Last year, was he in his head? Yes. But you saw his rookie year. You saw what he's working with. He's a young kid. Yeah, I was a fan until
he has all the tools.
Yeah, that's
he has
my
all
point.
the tools.
If he gets his head straight, he's got all the tools that you
he
exactly.
has all the physical tools. Yes, hands down.
So if he's got his head straight, then we're good.
But the guys behind him,
he does not have the technique. He doesn't have technique at all.
Technique can come. You can teach technique.
I know.
You can teach
that.
that.
At the moment, he has like garbage technique.
Right now he's more raw ability, and who knows? Maybe I don't know how much he's improved during the course of the off season. I haven't seen him. We're going to see him at camp and during the course of preseason, and then as the regular season starts, when the bullets really start flying. But until those bullets really start like it's an act of attrition to get to the season. Like, there's no guarantee. Like, when you look at the depth chart now, God forbid somebody get hurt. But if you look at it's going to be considerably different from now. And of course, you're going to have cuts and stuff. But even with the guys that you think, there's going to be guys that are going to get hurt. Stuff's going to happen. It's just it's inevitable. So how deep are you? And even when you look at the offensive line, how deep are you on that offensive line? Where if an injury or two comes along, and that's my concern about the team, guys. Everybody calls me negative. But when you think about it, like, not as one game with all of our starters, with injuries off, we're okay. But when you look at it during the course of a whole season, there's a lot of more important positions besides Saquon Barkley and wide receiver and tight end.
Captain Negative.
Here I come to ruin your day. There's offensive linemen. There's depth on the offensive line. There's depth at linebacker. There's depth in the defensive backfield. You need to have those things in order to sustain for a 16-game season. If they get some injuries in the wrong spots, they're in trouble.
Yeah, we're going to need some young guys to step it up. Let's be honest. We're going to need some of these young guys to really do what they got, especially the secondary. Offensive line, I think depth-wise, we're okay. I would like to be a little bit better, but I think we're okay, offensive line-wise.
One guy I'm high on in the defensive backfield, Tim, D squared, my little man.
See, I'm not a Dante Dion guy.
I know you're not, but that's a guy that I'm cheering for. Like the one thing that's going to be fun about this team, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, is when we get into camp, because of the positions that are available on this roster, because of the the competition that there's going to be for roster spots when you're not looking at, again, the no-brain starters, is there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to endear themselves to Giant fans. You're going to fall in love with a lot of these young kids that we don't know that are going to play hard and are going to make some plays. And, then it becomes – right? So there's going to be a lot of new names and new faces. That's one of the intriguing things about this season. And then to see, who of those guys can contribute and grow. But, again, you're looking at winning a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years. So if you can look at it from a glass half full perspective and take it as it is, like, you want to see these kids get better. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for these kids to get better. They're going to be young, and you just hope all the pieces fall into place.
And that's exactly my point right there. Is if all these young kids, obviously all of them aren't going to work out, but there's going to be some that work. Just the odds are there. They're going to get that experience. They're going to get that work. So come that second year when Gettleman can get his second wave of people he wants in, this team could be a Super Bowl caliber team come year 2. And that's realistic.
Well, let's see. Well, let's see how close they are on defense, right? I mean, if it ends up being a complete clusterfuck on defense like it's been the last year, and you have to rebuild the defense from scratch, then you're in a horse of a different color. Like let's hope that this team is competitive throughout the year, that they're competing for a playoff spot, so that you can see these guys in some situations where you can say, okay, I like this guy in this spot. This is a guy I want to keep moving forward. And you can use this as a weeding out process, per se, to say who's going to come along for the ride. Who in this defense can translate to a 3-4? What if Vernon is a complete fucking waste?
And this would be his last year. If that's he's gone. This is 1 year. He's got to prove it, or he's gone.
You're right.
He carries.
What if Tomlinson? What if they're wrong about Tomlinson moving and playing strictly in a 3-4 at that defensive end spot at the NFL level?
Well,
I hope they're not.
He's played at the collegiate level.
But not at the NFL level. Like, to just say, okay, we're going to move you from a 4-3 to a 3-4, and now you're going to play at this spot and start for 16 games at the NFL level. Horse of a different color, right? So I don't know that he can do it. The other day I read that B.J. Hill was on the other. Who it was? Harrison,
Tomlinson,
Hill,
and B.J. Hill,
and Tomlinson. Right? I mean, okay, right? Let's go, Hill. I'm all for it. But can we see him? The guy was a 5th or 6th round pick. Let's look at it realistically.
No, B.J. Hill was 3rd round pick. But
I'm sorry. That's right. But let's see. Can we see the guy play? Can we see him in that role at the NFL level, playing on Sundays? We don't know how it's going to work out. I was thinking of the other guy.
Yeah,
who was the other guy they took? The other defensive tackle. McIntyre. There you go. That's who I was thinking of. My fault, buddy.
Yeah, but you got B.J. Hill from State. He's a monster. Pretty much with the 3-4, those 3-4 tackles just got to take up blocks. Free up linebackers.
I love it.
That's all
I like those two guys. I'm rooting for them. I think they could be good football players, but I'm not convinced of it. Nor do I think that even if they're going to be good football players, do I think that in year 1 we can expect the moon from them. Give them a chance to develop and see what they got and get consistent, get stronger during the course of a year.
I live right near State. I live right near NC State. And I've been seeing B.J. Hill enough times. He's solid. He's solid.
Yeah,
he's definitely going to do.
Tim, but it's a different ball game.
He reminds me of Jonathan Hankins. He reminds me of Hankins.
It's a different ball game now, though, Handsome.
Right.
It's the NFL now. I want to see it on Sundays. And I don't want to see it in preseason in the 2nd or 3rd game in the 3rd or 4th quarter. I'm intrigued. All right, nice play. Good job. Let's not go crazy. What matters, especially if you're telling me that we're a Super Bowl team and we got Eli for 2 or 3 more years and this is our guy, what matters is what happens day 1, Jacksonville, Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's a big test for week one. That's a big test for week one.
Huge, Tim. Huge.
But I like it. That's a top defense. A top defense going against our offense. So let's see what we got. The advantage we have is they've never seen our offense. They don't know what our offense is even going to look like.
I saw the other day on ESPN, what's his name, Carr, the first one, the guy for the Texans, David or whatever his name is, right? So,
David.
They had they had the Giants schedule up, and they were going game by game to try to come up with their schedule. Did you see that? Right. So I think what do they have them coming out of the box at 0-3, and then their first win was against the Saints, I think. And then it ended up down the stretch where he had the Giants at 6-6. I think their 13th game was at Washington. I think they had them losing. So they were 6-7, and then he actually had them running the table, going 9-7.
Yep.
I mean, I can see a scenario where 9-7 is feasible with certain things, but I think that you better come out. I think you better steal one of those first 3 games. Those 3 games are tough. Those first 3 games are really tough.
And that's what he even said in that thing. He's like, really, one of the biggest games of the year is going to be week 1 on Jacksonville because that defense hasn't seen that offense.
Oh, that is. I forgot about that. You're right. He did say it came because they were joking at the end. They said it came down to their whole season comes down to Jacksonville. The
only thing I got to say with David Carr is he's a little bit of a homer. He is a former Giant.
Oh, I'm not saying. I'm just saying when you look at the schedule. I mean, it's not like he said they were going to be 12-4, right? I mean, realistically, you could look at the Giants, and even if you're a homer and optimistic, I think the best that you could possibly be is to say, okay, 9-7, and anything other than that, like let them pass our expectations. But when you look at the schedule, the way it shakes out, even 9-7, I had a difficult time believing some of those games he had as wins, were wins.
They're going to be wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument for either one. It's not like the Giants have a dominant team and you say, oh, they're at home against this team. It's a win. How many times have we been in that situation over the last 5, 6, 7 years where we're like, oh, yeah, this game, this is a no-brainer. And they just got done going on the road 2 weeks in a row and playing really good teams, and they played them really tough, and they split, and they went 1-1, and they come home against a piece of shit, and you're like, oh, we're going to kill this team. And it's the third quarter, late in the third quarter, and it's 13-9, and you're fucking biting your nails because they're playing awful.
So would you be surprised if the offense goes out there and lights it up?
I would be surprised if they're going out there and scoring 33, 34 points a game. I don't think this is going to be the greatest show on turf. But I also don't think you have to do that. Like there's a bunch. Like if you're playing balanced football and you have a good defense and good special teams, you're able to just play the game. You're able to say, okay, we drove the ball to the 50, no big deal. We stalled. Our good punter is going to pin them down there, and then our solid defense is going to change field position. I think if you have a solid team, it's not about just going out there and lighting up the scoreboard. Like, what if the Giants' defense is awful and they give up 33 points a game, but they're averaging 28 points a game? I mean, are people going to be happy?
Well,
depends how many times they do that.
Here's the thing, and James, you raise a good point.
I'm trying not to be negative. I'm trying to be logical, Justin.
In the sense that, in order for this team to be successful, someone somewhere that we're not expecting is going to have to step up.
Bingo.
This isn't
a couple of people. A couple of people.
Right, exactly. We're going to have to see a couple of faces that we weren't expecting to play the role that they're going to end up playing, be successful or exceed expectations. This isn't the NBA where the roster is 13 players and you know who your 5 starters are and you need three bench people and five bench guys never play.
No, you need Eric Flowers to play his ass off.
Right. It's a 53-man roster, and every one of those guys is going to have to contribute. When we won the Super Bowl in 2007, I just recently rewatched the the 2017 New York Giant Chronicles on the MSG network.
Kavika Mitchell.
Shameless plug, right?
Yeah.
But that roster was filled with young players that were contributing. Justin Tuck was on that roster. Kevin Boss was on that roster. Ahmad Bradshaw was on that roster. Steve Smith was on that roster. A young Aaron Ross was on that roster. And when I say young, I know he was old when he was a rookie, but young in terms of experience. And all those guys balled out down the stretch and helped us make that run.
The Giants need some Kavika Mitchells. Remember Kavika Mitchell? Wasn't he like their only free agent that year that they brought in? And everybody was like, oh, shit, it's Kavika Mitchell. Woo! Let me tell you something about Kavika Mitchell going down the stretch. That guy played his balls off.
Yeah, he did.
Go back and watch some of those games about that guy. Go back and watch those games and watch how many plays he made. Right spot, right time, freeing up other people, pressuring the quarterback. Just they need a couple of guys like that where you're not expecting, where you're like, oh, some of these ho-hum guys. Like they need Jonathan Stewart to rush for 700 yards to take the load off Barkley and get 6 touchdowns this year and not fumble the ball. Right? I mean, they need the punter and the kicker to punt like punters and kickers at an NFL level, for Christ's sake.
Well,
what's
that's
interesting?
a question. Who's the guys that you guys think? Who's the person if they step up past your expectations? This team could be a lot better. Who's that person for you guys?
So for me, it's D squared. They need somebody that can cover in the slot, bro, or you're done. Like that is such a huge part of the NFL now. If you don't have third and fourth corners, bro, I'm praying that kid he's a feisty little son of a bitch. I love him. I love how hard he plays.
Wait, who?
He always seems to be in the right place.
You talking about Dante Dion?
Dante Dion.
Okay, I thought that's who you're talking about. I didn't want to just guess.
D squared. I love him. I refer to him as D squared. I love him.
Oh, just you?
Okay,
I thought it was like his nickname.
What? No, why do I call him D squared?
No,
because it's
really?
D's, you.
No, I get that, moron. What I'm saying was, I wasn't sure that was you who called him that or if the team called him that.
Wrong.
That's what I was asking.
Yes.
Wrong.
So that's I think that position, it is so. If you don't have a guy that can cover in the slot, if you don't have a fourth corner, teams can spread you out. And if you're going to blitz, and if you're going to bet your blitz is 5 guys a ton, if you can't get to the quarterback with 4 guys or 3 guys now, and that's not going to be it. And even if they go to a NASCAR nickel package or something like that, the guys that they have on the line, I question if they can get to the quarterback. You know, there's questions about it. Even if it's Lorenzo Carter, Giant fans, there's going to be a growing process. I don't think you can bank on the kid for having 9 sacks this year. I think you just want the kid to play hard and get better. Like, don't put an expectation on him like that. He's a fucking rookie. Like, grow up. This isn't Madden. So, like, if you look at it, if they're going to blitz and you don't have guys that can cover, man, yikes. And the other one, they need a pass rusher like Hill, Tomlinson, Carter. So let me be wrong. Let them have the rookie blow up for 13 sacks. I'd love it. Please let me be wrong. But you need somebody. You got to have who's going to get to the quarterback, who's going to cover. 2 hugest things for me this season. The
other defensive player that I think is going to have a real opportunity to step up and make some plays is Kareem Martin. He's coming from Arizona's team under Betcher. Betcher likes his versatility. He's going to be put in a position to be able to step up and make some plays. And he's either going to take advantage of that opportunity or he's not. But
he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that comes off what? He was on his rookie deal, right? So they didn't want to re-sign him. He's one of those guys that you hope his better days are ahead, right? So the Giants are hoping that they paid him a decent contract, and now they're going to get the upside of that contract. It's a roll of the dice, but you would assume that if anyone's going to know, it would be Betcher, right?
Absolutely. Kareem Martin's not a bad pick. The guy that I think,
let's be. I like Kareem Martin, but let's take a fucking big sip of Big Blue Kool-Aid reality a little bit. In 4 seasons, I think it is, Kareem Martin has 3.5 total sacks.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, he's just a big body. He's not a speed rusher or anything like that. But we'll see.
Now, do I hope that he can evolve into something, and maybe in this scheme, the way they're going to use him, that bet you knows something, and he can get that. Maybe he can have a 6 or 7 sack season, and you can get. See, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they have that one guy that can get to the pass rusher. I think it's going to be more scheme, using the guys to their ability to get to the pass rusher, to get to the quarterback. But then you're going to be able to cover. It's a hand-in-hand thing.
And that's where my guy. The guy that I want to see him step up, I want to see Darian Thompson actually step up.
Thank you.
If Darian Thompson gets back to where he was, his rookie year before he hurt his knee and all that, starts getting that ball hawking ability back there with Landon Collins, that becomes a strength with Thompson and Collins back there.
Hey, I would ask that any one of those 3 guys, and by 3 guys I mean Adams, Thompson, or even Michael Thomas. I don't care who it is. Somebody step up and make some goddamn plays. Like I don't care who the guy is. If it's going to be Thompson, tip of the cap. Adams, awesome, thumbs up. Thompson, Thomas, make somebody do something. Because that's another spot where if you're weak at safety, tight ends in this league will kill you. You need and if you're going to use Collins to cover some of those guys, I don't know about that. I think that you need Thompson. You can use Michael Thomas, as the strong safety and match Collins up in certain situations. But I think, don't you want Collins being aggressive and playing downhill and somebody else worrying about covering, like Thompson or Adams?
I want Collins to play that honey badger role.
I want Collins to kill somebody. Like, go just attack the line. Go get the ball. Go get the quarterback. Go make a play. Just center field. Be a ball hawk. Use your instincts. Just play with your instincts. I don't want Collins, worried about I only have to guard this man or anything like that. I want Collins. He's a playmaker. I want him, if he sees something, to be like, fuck the play. I'm going to go make a play. Yeah. And you have to trust in certain guys to be able to do that. He's that guy. So you need other guys to do other things.
I got a question for you guys. I want to see how you would take this. What do you think about Saquon returning kicks and punts?
Scares the shit out of me.
I do not want to see him back there.
Let me say this. I'm going to say this. I am my first real man crush.
Hold on. Let me hit the bell. Ready? We're in session. Go ahead.
All right. My first real man crush was Jason Sehorn. Huge man crush.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I had such a man crush on Jason Sehorn was not his phenomenal good looks, because there's a million good-looking guys out there. Okay, well, what it is he, at the end of the season before, Jason Sehorn played maybe the 5 best games I've ever seen a cornerback play in a row. And he shut down in that season before, I think it wasn't it the year the Giants went to the playoffs against Minnesota, and they Philippi Sparks, the onside kick bounced off his chest, and they ended up losing to Minnesota. They were winning the game like 19-10. Minnesota scored late. Randall Cunningham, onside kick off Sparks. Remember that? Right? And then they come. Remember that? Okay, so that year, in order for the Giants to clinch the division, it wasn't a given. The Giants were not expected to do anything. That was the year that Armstead and Strahan was good before, but that was really their coming out party, was that year where you said, wow, there's some talent there. It was Armstead, it was Sehorn, it was Strahan, and Sehorn locked down like Michael Irvin, and he locked down we need to look that up. There was like 3 or 4 games in a row down the stretch there where he locked down receivers. I think it was the Redskins had somebody really good that year. He locked them down. Michael Irvin, he locked down all down the stretch. Then in the playoff game, he played phenomenal against Carter and Randy Moss and all those guys. He had a go YouTube the interception where he skies up over, who was it, Moss or Chris Carter? He leaps over one of them. Sehorn was a Greek god amongst football men. The year he came back, the following season, right, they called him Species because he was like he put on weight. He was amazing. There was a preseason game against Jacksonville that the year he came back after that Minnesota year, 94, 90, what was it, 97, 98, somewhere around there, right? So he comes back, and there was an interception against Jacksonville in preseason where he took off from the 20-yard line to the goal line like a fucking bullet on an interception. He was just a freak of nature. And then Jim Fossil made the decision to say, let's let him return kicks. And on the first kick he returned, he ripped his ACL and his knee, and he was never the same. There are certain players that are so valuable to you. I have heart attacks when they put Odell back there on punts and kickoff returns. To me, those positions are like the bullpen in baseball. Those are specialist positions. And you have a guy that you just know isn't going to fumble, is going to protect the ball, and maybe have a chance to break one open. But the main priority for me in those situations is to protect the ball to get my offense on the field. Okay? If a guy's explosive in certain situations and you're losing and you need a spark and you need a play, okay. But some guys are so valuable. And if it's the wrong injury, it completely ruins a career because Jason Sehorn was never the same. So, no, Saquon Barkley should not be returning kicks. Odell Beckham Jr. should not be returning kicks. They should be doing what you need them to do, and that's running the football and catching the football, both of them. Get somebody else, like Wayne Gallman or somebody. There's somebody fucking else on the roster that can do that for you.
Especially when you think about fact that. Especially when you
guys agree with me on that?
Yeah, we're all
100%.
Temperature in hell, 1 degree.
Sehorn broke my heart. I remember that Sehorn broke my heart on that kickoff return. He was the most athletic corner in the league.
I was watching that thing. I was watching it live.
Yep.
I was watching it live, and before they even cut to the replay after the injury, like before they even announced anything, I was like, he's done for the year. You could just tell. You know what I mean?
Yep. It was so bad, man. He was easily one of the top, as far as fan favorite Giants, especially with that year, without a doubt. Yeah. And the kid was a safety coming out of USC. He wasn't even a corner. He switched to corner just because he showed him how athletic he was. And he tore it up.
Everyone seems to forget that it was done in preseason too. It wasn't like regular season or like.
Yeah, exactly.
We're down by 7 in the fourth quarter of game 16. We need this. It was done in preseason. I do not like it.
And didn't David Wilson get hurt in a kickoff return as well?
Yes.
So you know what? Let's not put our first round picks or top talents back on kickoff return.
Right.
You know what? Just catch the damn ball and get it up the field.
Anyone else impressed you so far during OTAs?
I know somebody. What have you guys heard about Jahlil Davis? Now, I did the undrafted free agents audio crap. I looked at some of the comments. One guy, they were saying I forgot about Jahlil Davis, the ECU wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And they said he's been tearing it up in training camp. I have not seen that.
He's been doing it quietly. Supposedly he hasn't had any drops as of yet. But
how many times have you been thrown to? Let's be honest.
Thrown to, exactly.
It's hilarious, all the OTA stats. I love it. I think it's so funny.
You don't keep a running list?
No, man. Nobody get hurt. Wrong. Just nobody get hurt. Just nobody get hurt.
that's my biggest thing is when I see guys go down like Hunter Henry and crap. I'm like, oh God, please just don't have that.
Isn't that heartbreaking? Like Hunter Henry, like this. This was supposed to be his year where he took it to another level. And to see something like that happen to a young kid like that, that's awful, bro. And it can happen to anyone at any time in this league. And you just got to hold your breath and pray that it isn't us. And you never know. The odds are is at some point this season, something bad is going to happen to somebody that we need, and it's going to be devastating. And it's just a numbers game. It happens to every team in the league. That's why it's important to have such depth on the roster. What I think is absolutely hysterical that nobody's really talking about is that if the Giants are going to win a Super Bowl this year, do you know how many contributions is it going to take from Jerry Reese's guys to win it?
Who do you consider Jerry Reese's guy? Yeah,
look, think of all the guys that Jerry Reese drafted that you need to come through this year in order to win a Super Bowl.
Flowers, Odell.
Darian Thompson.
Yeah, true.
B.J. Goodson. Eli Apple. Adams.
Yeah.
Shepard. Ingram.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Here I come to ruin your day.
But not really. I mean, the fact is, I didn't hate Jerry Reese like with a passion.
No, I'm just saying. I like those players. I'm just being a dick. I'm just saying. Realistically, right? If they're going to win if they're going to win a Super Bowl this year, Justin, right? How many Jerry Reese guys do we need to come through for us?
Well, you mentioned at least a half dozen there.
Yeah.
And the biggest guy I think, who I think it's gonna be funny, because we're probably gonna try to sign him back. I think Eric Flowers is gonna have a big year this year. I just got a feeling.
I hope so, man.
Other than I know that kid's worked, and I've never been. I always liked the kid.
I get a bad rap. Okay, but there are things that I've been reading that there are some things that happen during OTAs that do matter. Okay, and here are the things that do matter. Okay, I read the other day that Nate Solder pulled the fucking tables together and was like, our offensive line eats as one. Like, that says something. Like, that's the stuff that happens now that you want to see on the field in week one. That's the stuff behind the scenes that makes up for talent, lack of talent, team, family. That only in football does that exist. And go look at the 2007 Giants as a perfect example. That was not the most talented team in the league. That was a bunch of guys that bought in, that believed in the guy. They believed in the guy next to them, and that was it. And they were, let's go for the ride. It's me and you. Let's ride. And when you have that, sometimes it'll overcome not having a third safety and a fourth cornerback and having those guys, because the other guys now in a family are stepping up and playing above where their talent level is. That's the hope. If this team is going to win a Super Bowl, you're going to have to get some of that, and it starts with fucking guys pulling tables togety. That's the stuff that right? I mean, come on, that's huge.
Let's be honest. As far as the great Giants offensive line of the Super Bowl years, you want to walk through it. Other than Chris Nee, there was no top pick on that offensive line. David Deal was a journeyman that played on every damn position on that line. Did he play well? Yes. I think we had we stole Kareem McKenzie from the Jets. But Sean O'Hara, he was like a backup in Cleveland, so it was no big names, but exactly what Jay was talking about. If everybody gets on the same page, the offensive line could be good. And honestly, if you look at the offensive line with Jalapio at center, everybody's about 320, about 6'5", 320, average. Nate Solder's 6'8", like 330.
Yeah,
there's some big boys. Yeah. There's no reason they can't move people if they're on the same page. And that's what I'm excited about. And that's where I think Ben McAdoo dropped the ball. He refused to try to run. He'd rather pass and run just to keep you honest, where I would rather have the run set up the pass. And that's Giants football. That's the Giants football I grew up with. That's going to help Eli all day. If you don't know he's going to pass or run, it's going to be it's a half second that defender has to, make it think.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, dude. But here's the thing, and this is it, man. I mean, it comes back to the defense. Like, if you're going to be able to consistently run the ball, like, you need to be in the game. If you're losing all the time, if you're down 10 points, 13 points, all of a sudden you become very one-dimensional. And it's difficult not to in the NFL because the rules play to you throwing the ball. So it's very easy for you to do that. And you have a running back that plays for you to throw the football to. So I don't know. I think it plays to the game. I think the idea is to be balanced. But in order to do so, you need to be in the game. You need to be playing with a lead. And then you need to be able to convert. And that's one thing to say, I want to go into a game and be balanced. But that means if you're going to run the ball consistently and say to yourself, okay, we're going to set ourselves up for 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, then Eli better hit that pass when the guy's coming across the middle and not throwing at his feet or behind him or anything like that. You better hit him in stride because that's what it takes to be balanced, or else you're punting and you're putting that defense back on the field. There's a lot of little things that go into this stuff. Did you just say you want to be balanced?
This finals game is close. 94, 93, 6 minutes to go.
The other thing, guys, I've heard another just gut feeling, and from the guys that see coming in, I think the special teams is going to make a lot of plays this year. I think the one thing I want to see this year is turnovers, and not on our side. I don't want to give up turnovers. I want to actually get turnovers. Interceptions, fumbles. And that's where I think special teams – we have like 3 special teams aces from around the league that we signed this year. And that's what they're here for, is to play special teams. It's not like they're here to be our number 1 wide receiver or anything like that. We're just trying to pick them out of it. We're between Cody Lattimore, Michael Thomas, who's the other guy that they signed? There's a big I know, like the Teddy Williams, the corner. There's a bunch of guys. But I definitely think our special teams could step it up this year and make a big difference. And that's the thing that it's going to be one of those where it's going to be like, damn, Giants special teams have made a lot of plays this year. Whether it's pinning somebody down on the goal line or maybe stripping some returners or whatever. It is going to be different with the new kickoff rule. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Yeah, how that plays into it.
Yeah. I mean, like they can't start running until the ball's kicked, I'm assuming, anymore. And they can, there's no wedges or anything like that. I mean, granted, there's still going to be a lot of just touchbacks. Let's be honest. But I think special teams makes a bigger deal when it's like punt returns and punt blocks as well. And I saw they brought in competition for the punter, which Twitter's starving for Giants news.
When are they bringing in competition?
I'm on YouTube.
Kicker.
Dropping bombs.
What
they didn't bring in. I don't know. I forgot what the Swenson's whatever is the punter
from Minnesota.
Samson.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
Why do we trade for
Samsonite?
7th round
way
pick?
Off.
I was way off.
Wait, Samsonite.
Why do we trade? Remember, they're looking at the briefcase. Swammy. Samsonite. Maybe it's on the briefcase.
It's like my favorite movie of all time, dude.
You guys don't believe in Aldrich Rosas?
No,
I don't. I think he's freaking paid.
I don't believe in Rosas.
No, I got.
OTA.
Guys, remember that team? Guys, remember the team in 2002?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes, I am. Remember the team in 2002 that was so good? They were so good. Collins actually was playing balls to the wall that year.
Collins, Barber, Shockey.
Right? They were on fire. They were 6-6. They won 4 games down the stretch. They were on fire in San Francisco. And even though their defense blew the game and Collins played like shit in the fourth quarter, they were still in position to win it with a field goal. And you know what position killed them? Long snapper. Like, you have to have certain guys. You better have a kicker, and you better have a punter, and you better have a guy that can snap the ball to the guy and the guy that can catch it. Like, there's so many little things that during the course of the season that will cost you games. No, the snapper was Trey Junkin.
I
do remember that.
They brought him in.
Yep.
They brought him in like 2 weeks before that.
Because it was a problem all season long, Justin. Remember?
Right.
They had snapping problems all season long. It was a position that haunted them. They were 6-6, and I'll guarantee you, if you go back and look at that games, at least 2 of them, they were screwed because by points that changed momentum, that changed field position, that took points off the board by a bad snap, by something bad happening, by something as minor as that. And that's how little it takes to screw a season. And there are certain positions on this team that you look at it and you're like, oh, man, everything has to go exactly according to plan. And how many times does that happen for NFL teams during the course of a season? It doesn't. You better be able to adapt, and you better have pieces that can help you adapt.
You don't have to look
I don't
that
know
far.
if any of these guys can kick. I have no clue if any of these guys can kick. And here's the thing. It's one thing to kick. It's another thing to kick in Philly with 70,000 people screaming that they want you dead when you're in the back of the end zone waiting to catch the ball and you're shaking and it's 48 degrees in November. These are all things that you can't experience them until you experience them. To sort of know how a guy is going to react in that situation. There's a lot of things during the course that can cost you a game.
Are you giving Brad Wing a pass?
What?
Are you giving Brad Wing a pass?
No, but no, he killed you. I mean, how many times did Brad Wing kill us last year?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you go back to the playoff year, I'm sure if you go back to the playoff year, there were games. I remember games where you were just like, Jesus Christ, what was that? But that's a position that can destroy you. Think of a guy like Jeff Eagles, where maybe we didn't have the best team in the league, right? But how important was it that Eagles was able to just pin teams back and force teams to have to go 90-plus yards, 87 yards, 93 yards, 85 yards, have to do that over and over again because your punter is a lethal weapon. Those
even when
like that can,
even when he wasn't
right?
killing it with the coffin punts and stuff like that, he was still consistent. Excuse me.
He wasn't a guy where you punted it, and I mean those are guys like that's huge. And another thing is field goal kickers, huge games on the line, on the road in a dome, crowds roaring. What are you going to do? 48-yard field goals, not a gimme. A lot of pressure on you there. I mean, those things can cost you a game, and it doesn't even have to be on the line, right? It could be. I mean, everybody thinks that the Giants are going to be this not juggernaut offense, but I got news for you. During the course of the season, during the course of the game, okay, you don't just get to run up and down the field and score points. That's not how it works. Okay, there's going to be times where you're going to have to settle for 3, and I got news for you. You're not going to score on every drive either. So, like, if you're not scoring on the drive, and surprise, right? We're not scoring every time we touch it. So, like, during the course of the game, you drive down, you drive to midfield, you punt, you get the ball back, you drive down, you miss a field goal. That changes the whole momentum. The other team comes down, scores a touchdown. Now the whole game, or how about this scenario, right? You drive down the whole length of the field, you go for it on fourth down because it's your fourth drive, you get stopped. You come back, they come back, you stop them, you get the ball back, you come down, you miss a field goal. Now you dominated the whole first quarter. How many times do you see it? You dominate the whole first quarter. It's a team that you're better than. You've dominated the whole first quarter. You have no points. They make one play. They get the momentum. They end up scoring on the drive. Now the whole game is a nail-biter. And you had an opportunity to create balance and to shove a fucking fist down their throat right away. And I'm not saying this only about the Giants. I'm saying it happens to every team in the league. There's going to be wars on Sunday. These things you're not just blowing teams out. So the little things like field goal kickers and snaps and stuff like that, it all matters.
Is it? Can I guess the 2 words?
Yeah.
Matt Dodge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do I win? What do I win?
And it's one of those positions. It's you know.
We just become best friends. Yep.
You know, it's one of those positions where if you know the guy's good if you're not talking about it. Like a field goal kicker is one of those, and a punter is one of those guys. Like where not seen, not heard. Like if there's no reason, like if he's making field goals, occasionally he misses one. And the guy goes 17 of 21 for the season, and he's solid. Or he makes some big kicks along the way, and every now and again he misses one or some shit like that. And the punters can you don't even talk about those guys. It's completely eliminated from the conversation. They're doing their jobs, but they stick out they stick out like sore thumbs, and they can destroy a game. They can destroy a season. And the Giants have question marks at those spots.
Yep. And for curiosity, since we're in the last 2 minutes, if we had any comments,
that 3 that LeBron James just hit.
Yeah, I just saw it.
No, I didn't.
I just saw you.
Everybody's
sleeping. Just put out a lane.
He's just unbelievable.
I got a hot take about him in a minute. Iggy.
Does he wind up?
He's not going to Boston. He's not going to Boston. I already know.
Kyrie is going to Dallas for the number 5 pick. The Celtics will draft Bamba, and they are going to bring in King James, who wants to play for Brad Stevens. Ooh, he wants to play with Tatum and Brown and the youngins. Bring them in. Bronny.
Wrong.
Bronny.
Wrong.
Bronny the Leprechaun. Leprechaun Bron. Oh, my God. Leprechaun Bron. I gotta call him and start marketing that immediately. Leprechaun Bron. Let's go Golden State. Sweep them.
You know what? Just remember, trust the process.
Oh, my goodness.
Durant from 3 with the dagger.
From 40 feet.
Yeah, that was from he hit that from Ohio State Stadium.
Before we log off, I just want to let you know, no one thought the alley-oop to himself was a travel.
No one thought what?
The alley-oop to LeBron threw an alley-oop to himself, threw it off the backboard, but took 12 steps before he did it. No one told him to travel.
I didn't even see that. That's what.
No one saw it today. Yeah,
I didn't see it.
Oh, I gotta see that now.
It doesn't
the first
surprise
half,
me.
yeah. He threw an alley-oop.
He did it in the first half?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see him. Leprechaun Bron. Oh, little leprechaun.
All right, gents. It's been great, but I have to run.
All right.
I think a bunch of you have to. I will. I don't know what's up for Sunday. Probably we'll see what's going on, but definitely next Wednesday.
Gentlemen, Big Blue.
Sunday.
All righty.
All right, guys.
All right, gents.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Later.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Hope you guys had fun. You guys have a good night, and y'all keep bleeding blue.